News Now is brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, Docomo Pacific, island-wide, worldwide. The choice is clear. Micronesia Renewable Energy. Go solar for zero money down. And Colgate Optic White. Whiter teeth in 1 week.
For me personally, it's
From
not
broadcast
cool.
to broadband, news you can trust. From the Pacific News Center in Higatya, Guam, and broadcasting live in Saipan, here's Clint Rigel and Janella Carrera. PNC Sports with Blake Watson and Rebecca Kim with weather. With your News Now.
Good evening. It's Monday, September 29th, and you're watching PNC's News Now. I'm Janella Carrera.
And I'm Clinton Rigel. Hafa and Tiruami to all of our viewers on Guam and on Saipan. Thanks for tuning in. Topping your news tonight, the 671 Game Land in Mong Mong was robbed in broad daylight today during lunchtime. According to a release from acting GPD PAO Officer Paul Tapao, GPD officers responded to the robbery at 12:15 in the afternoon. The game room is located on Route 7A East O'Brien Drive. Tapao reports that a male entered the game room demanding money. He struggled with the game room cashier over the register key before pulling a handgun on the cashier. The cashier then opened the register and then gave him an undetermined amount of money. The suspect then fled on foot towards Route 8 or the Purple Heart Highway. He is described as possibly local, between 5'8" and 5'10" tall and heavy set. He was wearing an Army Woodland Battle Dress uniform or BDU jacket with black pants, a black baseball cap, a black mask, and a 9mm handgun. Anyone with any information is asked to call GPD at 472-8911 or the Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP.
The Department of Justice is once again blasting the Department of Corrections for failing to provide adequate care to over 700 prisoners. In the latest court battle, although a joint proposed timeline was submitted, the two still don't see eye to eye on many issues like mental health and emergency services. Just a few weeks ago, Chief District Court Judge Francis Tidingo Gatewood ordered the Department of Justice and the Department of Corrections to submit a joint proposed timeline for the Corrections Department to come into compliance with a 23-year-old stipulated agreement. That joint timeline was indeed submitted, and while the parties seem to have agreed on a number of areas, for the most part, they disagree on the same issues that DOC has struggled with for years. Justice Department Attorney Jeff Murray says DOC claims that it is currently providing adequate health care and meeting inmates' needs, but the available facts don't support it. For example, he says only 5% of dental patients are being helped, and only 34% of mental health patients get treated. This is because DOC has not had a psychologist for 7 months. So only inmates who are fortunate enough are driven to Guam Behavioral Health, and even with that, it still depends on the availability of DOC guards and vehicles. Despite this apparent shortcoming, says Murray, DOC continues to claim that it has been providing adequate mental health care and that it doesn't need a psychologist. The number of nurses DOC needs is yet another issue. DOC says they are fine with 4 nurses, even as their own medical director, Dr. Raja Saad, says he needs at least 5.
There's a tropical storm brewing out there southeast of Guam, but the National Weather Service says it will likely pass far north of Guam and even Saipan. Currently, there is a typhoon watch issued for the far northern Mariana Islands, including Pagan and Alamagan.
Right now, it's all the model guidance suggests it should move to the northwest. Here is the latest from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Again, here's the Marianas, Chuk in the center. And the forecast takes it up well north of Saipan, up near the islands of Pagan, Agrigan, up there in the far northern Marianas. That would be early Wednesday morning.
National Weather Service forecaster Mike Middlebrook says winds are currently at 30 miles per hour, and it's forecast to become a typhoon by late Wednesday or early Thursday morning. But by then, it should be out of the Marianas chain.
We're not in a watch or anything here on Guam, but I would just say we should kind of pay attention for another day or so.
There is, however, a tropical storm watch for Tinian and Saipan and a typhoon watch for the far northern Marianas, including Pagan and Alamagan. So if it moves as currently forecast, what does this mean for Guam?
It really doesn't mean very much. We could get some showers later. Winds will switch back to southwest. It might be a little bit gusty in some of the showers, but really no real adverse impact unless it turns to a more westerly track. If it does that, then we might have to prepare for tropical storm conditions.
The tropical storm is forecast to pass well north of Guam and Saipan, and if it does begin to head closer to Guam, it's not expected to be any stronger than a tropical storm.
Various political signs were vandalized over the weekend. The signs of both Republican and Democrat candidates for legislature were apparently purposely knocked down. Along Route 8, PNC found Chris Duenas' sign was knocked down, along with a G in Senator Frank Uggan Jr.'s sign. Speaker Judy Wonpat, Senator Tommy Morrison, and candidate Roland Blaz's signs were knocked down in East Hagåtña along Marine Corps Drive. Speaker Wonpat says it's normal for some signs to be vandalized during election season, but this election, she says it's worse than usual.
For me personally, it's not cool at all. But no, seriously though, you got to look at it two ways. One, would it be sheer vandalism when they're going out to destroy the fans? I mean, the signs versus them taking a position that they do not support certain candidates. But either way, of course, it's destructive. And it's not only destructive, it's also costly.
Speaker Wonpat says most candidates don't bother to file a complaint with GPD, and GPD PIO Paul Tapau confirms that no complaints have been filed for these recent cases.
Another attempt is being made to stop the medical marijuana referendum from going forward. Attorney Howard Trapp filed a petition for writ of prohibition in federal court last Friday. This is Trapp's second attempt at preventing the question from being placed on the general election ballot. He had filed an amicus brief when the case went before the Supreme Court, but that went nowhere since the higher courts later ruled the law to be organic after it was challenged by the Guam Election Commission. Attorney Trapp says the federal court is better suited to hear the case because he's not challenging the bill itself, but the legislature's organic ability to pass the buck to the people of Guam for a vote.
I'm not saying that this bill could not be submitted to the citizens for their vote. If a citizen wanted to go out and get the requisite number of signatures and get it on the ballot, well, okay, then they can do it.
So it shouldn't come from the legislature?
No, it has to come from the people of Guam.
If the district court rules in favor of Attorney Trapp, this means the Guam Election Commission will be prohibited from placing the medical marijuana vote on the November ballot.
All right, we'll stay tuned. Coming up next on News Now, we have more information on why hikers are falling ill.
And hear what the Guam Visitors Bureau has been up to in Japan. We'll be back with more of your News Now on PNC after this.
The day and the hour is coming for the primary election, and you tell those Democrats and undecided voters to cross the river.
They've invested in the youth. Why? Because they believe that not just the last 3.5 years, but the next 4 years are going to depend on how much we invest in children.
The first is, it's not important where I went to school. What's important is that we provide our kids with a world-class education right here in Guam. Viva California!
It's about north, south, rich, poor, Filipino, Chamorro, Jukis, not fighting each other, not dividing with each other, but coming together. On behalf of Reyna and our family, our administration, we want to say thank you to Congresistas Masti. Viva Cabo Sonorio! Viva Republican! And Viva Guam! God bless you all! Thank you! On to victory!
This silver dollar has been in our family for generations. And now I want you to... Never mind.
No dollar is safe. The new Dollar Cravings Menu. 11 craveable creations, each for $1.
Taco Bell's Beefy Fritos Burrito, crunchy Fritos, seasoned beef, and warm nacho cheese sauce, all for just $1. One of 11 craveable creations on Taco Bell's new Dollar Cravings Menu, each for just $1. Only $1? Who approved this?
Welcome back to News Now on PNC. Hikers have been falling ill after spending time in Guam's jungles. Naval Hospital has reported cases of leptospirosis after hikers spent time at Tarzan Falls or Sigua Falls, but More recent cases trace back to the lost hashers in the Mount Schroeder area earlier this month. PNC's Betsy Brown reports.
The 79 hashers who were reported lost in the Mount Schroeder area of Maurizo September 13th made it out of the jungle, but they're not quite out of the woods. Department of Public Health epidemiologist Dr. Robert Haddock says 10 of the hashers have been diagnosed with leptospirosis, and several other cases could be pending. Leptospirosis is a disease caused by coming into contact with bacteria from animals.
Leptospirosis is a bacterial disease of animals, and it's spread primarily through urine.
Dr. Haddock, it's dairy farmers and others who work with animals who are most at risk of contracting leptospirosis. But the bacteria can also contaminate the groundwater, which then spreads to rivers and streams, which is how hikers can get the illness.
If you have, if you get lacerations from running through the sawgrass, or stumble and get a cut on your knee or something, if that has been contaminated, or if you later get exposed to contaminated water, you can get the infection that way.
The symptoms of leptospirosis include fever, general discomfort or uneasiness, and headache. But Dr. Haddock says symptoms vary and can take anywhere from 2 days to 4 weeks to set in. To avoid getting the disease, Dr. Haddock says wait to go boonie stomping until the dry season. But if you must go out...
The other recommendation we would have, if you're going to be particularly hiking in that area, wear long pants and a long sleeve shirt. Of course, the runners don't want to do that. They always wear a t-shirt and short pants, but this exposes them to more cuts and bruises and more likely to get infected.
Betsy Brown, PNC News.
And since Guam lost its only direct flight from Russia, Bart Jackson from the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association says, although we expect to see less Russian visitors in the coming months, he's highly confident that it will pick up in the long run. PNC's Rizal Romanes spoke with him this morning about the future of Russian tourism in our island.
Lately in the shop, we haven't seen many Russian tourists, just basically Asians.
How about on the street? Have you seen any lately?
Not really. In the past couple of months, I haven't seen many at all.
Guam only had one direct flight from Russia, and now it's gone. Bart Jackson from the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association says he's optimistic about Russian tourism for the island in the long run. But in the coming months, he says to expect to see less Russian tourists in Tumon and around the island. Jackson says it is just a temporary glitch and that he's confident that the Guam Visitors Bureau will find a way to get that direct flight back. Now, why is the Russian market such a big deal? He says compared to the Japanese, Korean, and Taiwanese, even though Russians only make up 2% of Guam's visitors, Jackson says they have a bigger impact because they stay on island much longer and spend more.
I think all tourism is good for Guam. But it takes a while to see the impact of some of our source markets that only stay in hotels and only do optional tours. It's difficult to see how the impact spreads throughout the island. But with the Russians, they rent a car, they drive everywhere. They're in every village. They go to the mom and pop stores. They go to all the out-of-the-way places. They go to restaurants outside of Tumon.
Jackson says the bottom line is Russians are going to keep coming and they like Guam, but it's going to take several months for them to start flying back here. When asked how many Russian visitors the island can expect if we do get that direct flight back, he says 40,000 sounds reasonable.
I think in time we'll begin to do 20, 30 plus. This year, with the direct flights, we would have done 20,000. And it's only our third year in the market. So I think that 40,000 is a reasonable goal.
Rizal Romanes, PNC News.
And Team Guam is representing and making a great impression at Japan's biggest tourism expo, JATA. The Guam Visitors Bureau says the island's 4,000-year-old Chamorro culture separated Guam's booth from the rest of the 150 countries that were in attendance. For the final day of the 4-day event, nearly 100 Japanese dancers from the Guam Chamorro Dance Academy performed 2,000s on the Guam stage, as well as on the JATA's main stage. GVB PIO Josh Tikenko says to add to the island's unique appeal, the Guam booth also featured the Hafa Chamorro dance show, a Chamorro craft school, and a Miss Guam photo session. He shows us just how much fun Team Guam is having in Japan. The JATA Tourism Expo Japan concluded today, but GVB says they will continue to promote Guam as the ideal destination.
The Speaker, Judy Wonpat, has called session for 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. One of the bills that should garner a lot of attention is Bill 393, which would fund the renovation of the maternity ward of the Guam Memorial Hospital. The measure, which was introduced by Speaker Wonpat, will allow Gov Guam to borrow up to $7 million to get the maternity ward up to standards. The $7 million would cover the cost of Phase 1 and 2 of the three-phase project. Proponents of the bill say they will work with the governor's office to find the funding needed for Phase 3 of the maternity ward upgrades.
Right now, mothers are burdened to have to be moved, sometimes even 5 times in a given time that they're there. So it becomes cumbersome, of course, and very difficult, for mothers and the staff.
And Speaker Wonpat says that unpledged business privilege taxes would be used to pay back the money borrowed for the maternity ward.
Southern cooking and gospel music will be celebrated as the Guam Humanities Council hosts its 3rd Eat Your Heritage Tour this week.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. I've been going ever since I made a start. Days are
The Birmingham Sunlights will pay tribute to Southern heritage with several performances. The special concert of the Birmingham Sunlights will be held on Wednesday at Southern High School at 7 p.m. They'll also be at the University of Guam tomorrow to sing following the created equal film screening of Freedom Riders. To bring a taste of the American South Award-winning chef Robert Stelling is on Guam from Hominy Grill in Charleston, South Carolina, and he'll be giving a chef's lecture at the Government House Thursday evening. Humanities Council Executive Director Kimberly Keeling says the guests will team up with local chefs for the highlight event on Saturday evening.
We're going to be having a 5-course meal with using only locally sourced produce and protein, and we have incredible a meal planned, as well as we're going to be participating with local chefs, including Chef Mirko, as well as Peter Duenas, J.R. Taga of the Outrigger, and Chef Paul Kerner of GCC. And then the Sunlights will be giving a final performance that evening as well.
And for more information on the Eat Your Heritage events, visit our website at pacificnewscenter.com.
That's making me hungry.
I know, I want to check it out. And the music sounds good. I'd like to catch those guys in performance.
Yeah, they were in tune. All right, we'll stay tuned. Coming up next on News Now. The Geckos face Guam High.
And Rebecca Kim has her eyes on that tropical storm. News Now continues on PNC after this.
Pat Stitching and Detailing offers complete detailing and off-island detailing for shipping. Affordable packages starting at $149. With 3M paint sealant and wax, 3M Scotch Guard, and a deep steam shampoo, Pat is your detailing headquarters. Located across GTA in Upper Tumon. Call 647-SLAM today.
By 2019, Guam will be safer and our people healthier. Effective communication is a key pillar to achieving this vision by using our strengths and values as island people. Let's come together to talk openly and honestly. Let's build trusting and respectful relationships in our families and in our community. Now is the time to join Guam's peace movement towards this positive change. The peace vision for Guam is people making positive choices. Guam is our island. This is our home. The success of our future relies on our coming together. It starts with me and you.
To learn more, call the Prevention and Training Branch of the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center at 477-9079 or visit peaceguam.org today.
Wandering out into this great unknown. And when it's done, believe that I will yell it from that mountain high. I was born free.
Find summer, the Chevy Summer Drive. Now get this 2014 Camaro LS for $28,999 or just $147 per paycheck. Head into AK Chevrolet today.
Hafa day and happy Monday. Welcome to PNC Sports. I'm Blake Watson. IIAAG fall playoff season is right around the corner. Tonight, we lead off with the undefeated Geckos of GW. They travel to Guam High on Friday night and hope to win their 4th in a row. Here's more. The new turf and Guam High was the stage Friday night. GW trying to win their 4th in a row. Both GW and Guam High have had a slow start in the early parts of this game, but Geckos make a touchdown early, running the score to 7-0 before the half. A dust-up ensued in the first quarter, resulting in the ejection of 2 Gecko players. GW, though, first place for a reason. They can't adjust. Geckos stick to the run, and Hank Sablon, it pays off. GW sprints to first place with a win, 21-7, the final in Agana Heights at Naval Hospital. Guam High will look for their first win later this week. They will travel down south to face the 0-4 Dolphins. Hey, don't forget about the ladies. With IIAAG girls volleyball playoffs looming, nobody right now is hotter in the league than the Southern Lady Dolphins. We have more in the Budweiser Sports Report.
The PNC Budweiser Sports Report with top headlines and action of all your favorite local sports.
The Lady Dolphins making waves in IIAAG girls volleyball. They came into Guam High Friday night, riding a 4-game winning streak and the league's hottest team. They were looking for win number 5 against the just okay Lady Panthers. Southern High led off well. They're able to communicate and capitalize early on the Guam High miscues. Guam High, though, showing they have fight left. Lady Panthers start to gel and are able to gain some momentum throughout the first set. They actually win, but Guam High can't hold on, and the magic runs out. Southern finds their groove. They go on to win in 3 sets, their 5th straight. They also ran the streak to 6 games. They defeated Notre Dame on Saturday night in 3 sets as well.
This sports report was brought to you by Budweiser. Grab some buds.
Wrapping things up for the PNC Sports Report, I'm Blake Watson. Thanks for watching. And remember, a rare IIAAG girls volleyball game tonight. The Red Hot Academy Cougars try to stay on top. They host the still looking for a win Guam Adventist Academy. Good night. See you at the game.
Let's hear it for Bud Light, the perfect beer for when you take over a town, make me the mayor, call it whatever USA. Then pack it to the brim with so much spontaneous, never thought I'd be doing this awesomeness that it's hard to believe we actually pulled it off, right? Body bowling, roller disco, Bud Light, tiny cars, tiny horses, big celebrities, Bud Light, dancing, karaoke, Bud Light, whatever that is. This guy, this girl, oh my, wow, look at that. Bud Light and Bud Light, then put it on the internet for everyone to see. And whatever else happens.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Find out more at upforwhatever.com.
I have big news. Bacon and cheese have been stuffed in a crust.
Pizza Hut's new bacon and cheese stuffed crust with hardwood smoked bacon and a blend of 3 cheeses. For a limited time, get a large one topping for just $17.99 and a 2-liter Pepsi for $2 more. Only at your Island Pizza Hut.
Pizza night from Pizza Hut just got a whole lot sweeter with the ultimate Hershey's chocolate chip cookie.
Share 8 large slices of freshly baked cookie goodness packed with Hershey's chocolate chips. Get it for just $5.99 when you order a pizza, including cheesy bites.
And the sweetness, it's just getting started.
Pizza Hut.
Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists, continues to spread smiles to children everywhere in Guam through their award-winning Bright Smiles, Bright Futures oral health education program. This campaign has benefited more than 20,000 public school children on Guam with free toothbrushes and education about a lifetime of healthy habits. So let's keep our children excited about oral health throughout the year. With your purchase, Colgate will donate 20 cents back to the Bright Smiles, Bright Futures oral health program for Guam's public schools. There are more than 70 certified BSBF centers on Guam. Find yours today.
Bright Smiles, Bright Futures!
Colgate, #1 brand recommended by dentists.
Hey, happy Monday to you, and how do you like my hair? It is so short and I don't have to spend so much time washing it. Good news, but what a lazy girl. Welcome to PNC's weather forecast. I'm Rebecca Kim. The weather this week is not so pleasant as Tropical Storm 18W is located 450 miles east of Guam and 420 miles east-southeast of Saipan. It would not directly pass Guam or Saipan as it is moving westward, but it is still expected to give us lots of rain. A tropical storm watch is in effect for Saipan, which means a tropical storm condition is possible within 48 hours. Its maximum sustained winds is 40 miles per hour. And take a look. Its closest point of approach to Saipan and Guam will be in between tomorrow night and Wednesday morning. And as you see, Guam and Saipan are not in the red or blue range, which means that we have winds below 39 miles per hour. But it's still quite early to say that we're completely safe because the National Weather Service says that changes of forecast can lead to varying impact on the Marianas Island. Take a look at a cloud coverage here. Usually we have isolated thunderstorms, but this week we have more than that. It will be mostly cloudy with scattered showers and scattered thunderstorms. And then tomorrow and on Wednesday we have even more intense rain coverage, widespread showers. And then the condition will continue till Wednesday, and wind direction will change tonight. It will be southeast winds 10 miles per hour tonight, shifting to northwest after midnight. But tomorrow and on Wednesday, wind speed will pick up. Southwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Highs run about 1 to 2 degrees higher than usual, 89 degrees. And then lows remain 77 degrees. On Saipan, it will be raining for all 3 days. Thunderstorms are scattered tonight, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. That's it for me, and please stay safe.
Looking to tint your ride? With 1 year, 3 year, and lifetime warranties on 3M tinting film, Pat's Tinting and Detailing is the place to go for all your tinting needs. Complete detailing packages start at $169. They also carry base-proof window tint. So cool your car down with tinting from Pat's. Located across GTA in Upper Tumon, call 647-SLAM today.
By 2019, Guam's youth will feel secure and supported in their community. A safe and healthy environment is a key pillar to achieving this vision. By embracing our island traditions and promoting our strengths and values, we will take personal responsibility for surrounding our children and youth with positive messages and role modeling good health. The Peace Vision for Guam is people making positive choices. Guam is our island. This is our home. The success of our future relies on our coming together. It starts with me and you.
To learn more, call the Prevention and Training Branch of the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center at 477-9079 or visit peaceguam.org today.
Catch the finger food craze that's taking over the world. Start with McDonald's delicious, shareable Chicken McNuggets, 20 for $5.99. And don't forget your favorite sauce. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
All right, so what do you think about that strange story about the hikers that have been getting some sort of leptospirosis, bacterial kind of infection or something?
It's kind of scary, you know. It makes you want to not go hiking. I mean, I've been wanting to go.
Yeah.
The stuff that usually deters me is, you hear about all these accidents and whatnot, and now this. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know. Sounds weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of creepy. It sounds like one of those old ancient diseases.
And I don't know. I was talking to some of my peeps down south, and
Peeps. Yo,
I got peeps. You know what I mean? I got peeps. But it's talking to some of my peeps down south, and they said they go in the jungle all the time hunting and everything. I'm talking about hunters, and they don't get any. They
I guess
haven't
if
had any
your
leptospirosis.
immune system can handle it.
Maybe I don't know if that's
because I grew up playing in the dirt also, so maybe I'd be able to handle it. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll have to find out.
Let's go talk to your peeps.
My peeps. All right, that's it for News Now from all of us here at PNC. Thanks for watching. Stay Malik and have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah, that's the